For educational purposes only. This video is for educational purposes only and for awareness purposes only. Take a look at how this man is going to be attacked while he's driving a bullion van. Take a look at how it's going to happen. Just watch. He's driving peacefully and probably without suspects. Then all of a sudden those people came about. Just watch and see how it's going to happen. Just take a look, take a closer look. And after watching how the attack went, you're going to watch an interview with the man, this particular driver right now. He's indeed a good driver. Watch, they are coming. Right. You're going to watch an interview where he explained how everything happened actually. Watch closely. The attack has started. Just take a look. They have equipped themselves. Security. Ow! It nearly hit them. Omo. Wow. That was really. Omo. This driver is indeed an expert. And they already got shots on their screens. Oh. That's it on. Wow. Take a look. He actually had it on. Now he's trying to find the safest route to take. Oh wow. Take a look. And they got the hits. Was that a shot? Man, this must be a bulletproof car. Oh, can you see that crack there? And now the driver has a blurry view. My goodness. Oh, what was that? Did he actually hit? Oh, he's making a turn right now. Oh, I think the car is stuck. Man, the car is stuck. I actually calling for backup. Oh, and they're off. And they're off the car to attack. Oh. Alright, now you can watch the man in an interview where he's giving a narration of what actually transpired and how it actually transpired. Man, this guy is so wonderful. This man is so wonderful. His expertise and how he navigated the steering shows how much of an expert he is. That was so wonderful. That was so amazing. Oh.
The one vehicle came past us before the shots were being fired, because they use usually 2 or 3 vehicles or more in certain cases. One vehicle is dedicated to the courier van, and then there's 1 or 2 vehicles dedicated to the escort vehicle, because they know that if they take out the escort vehicle and the security of the merchandise, the stealing of the the robbery of the merchandise is easy target. So the bucket got past us, and the next thing I heard was the gunshots. I had a look in my mirror. I saw where they were. They were on my 4 or 5 o'clock area. I swerved into them. And one needs to understand, these guys didn't wake up that morning and decided to do a robbery. These guys are organized, they've got training. They are, like we all know, they are either current or ex-released military or security personnel. They are trained, they have got contacts, they know what they are doing. military precision is evident on a lot of these incidents. So I tried to bump them off the road. I managed to miss them first time. Then I saw that Bucky pushed the courier van off. Then I went over, went for them, trying to get them away from the courier van. As I drove past them, the Bucky took off. I tried to ram him off, and he just disappeared. The other vehicle came from behind. Again, I tried to block him. He came past me. I tried to ram him again. Unfortunately, those vehicles are quite powerful and fast. So he got past me before I could give him a proper push. Once he went past me, I turned around to go back to the courier vehicle to see where the crew was. I knew they were out of the Bucky. They ran down the highway. But at that stage, there was 3 armed robbers with AKs on the highway. So I went back to the courier van. As I got to it and I looked back, the Audi turned around and he parked broadside into the highway. And his crew came out. They formed an extended line and they started shooting at us again. So I went for them again with my vehicle. And I know some of the questions was why didn't we shoot back and all of that. That particular vehicle didn't have any gun ports in the doors of windows, so that wasn't a great option. I would have had to open the door to engage him with a rifle. At that stage, my vehicle was my weapon and my cover, so that was my first option to use until it's exhausted, until the vehicle has been shot out or disabled completely. Then my follow-up actions would have changed. But at that stage, that was my first option, and that's what we used. So I went after the Audi again. At that stage, there were 6 armed men on the highway. I tried to chase the Audi down. We went into entrance of a hotel close by. I pushed him around. He went over those concrete balls. He got stuck. I tried to get over the concrete balls to get close to him, and I got stuck. And unfortunately, that's where the whole thing ended. So that's how that incident happened. The severity of the gunshots, or the accuracy of the gunshots, is evident that it was not a first-time robber or a untrained person behind those AKs and other weapons that they've used. You could see they were well prepared. The modus operandi is what they normally use. We know that, and that was my go-to plan. The only thing you can really do in a situation like that is try to pre-visualize what you're going to do. There's unfortunately no ways that any person, any training provider can train you specifically in a real life scenario like that to do. So in my mind, I knew my weapon was my vehicle, and that is how I was going to utilize it. And I kept on pre-visualizing what I will do, and luckily that kicked in. It was an instinctive action. In a situation like that, one cannot formulate plans. Once the shots is incoming and once everything starts happening, then a lot of your actions is based on instinctive actions, and those instinctive actions are based from previous experience, training, and concepts, what we call muscle memory, that needs to be built. And all of that starts in your mind. You need to have a strong mind. You need to have a clear mind as to what your weapons are. You need to be instinctively familiar with your tools and systems that you has to your availability.
Let's talk about some of the talking points out there. The first one being, okay, you covered why didn't you shoot back, because that's one of the issues that I see all over. Why didn't they shoot back? Okay, so that one we've covered. The next one, what could Lloyd have done any different? Hold the gun better.
Yeah. Look, whenever you see, all these incidents, and with CCTV footages and cameras all over the world, we see them more and more. dash cams of police vehicles, shopping centres and things like that. And every second armchair critic and keyboard warrior has got his own version of what he would have done. We take it from where it comes, we just laugh and laugh at them. Some of the comments are really funny actually. But those people that has got lots of criticism against Lloyd, they must get up, put their sugar-free soft drink down, put their bucket of popcorn down, get up from behind their screen or the TV where they watch their 100th action movie, put on the bulletproof, put on your boots, get into the car with us in that confined space, and maybe when you're lucky, because you are bound to be lucky sometimes, bullets will be incoming, and let's see what you are made of really. Because hindsight is a wonderful thing, and in hindsight I could have done much better, I could have done certain things better, but in the moment, things happen in the moment, and you need to live in that moment, and you need to react in the moment. So Lloyd did a good job. He did what he was asked to do. I asked him to phone Robbie and Joss, by name that are very famous now. Unfortunately, there was scramblers and cell phone scramblers and blockers and all those type of things, and those type of equipment is vulnerable to the bad guys. So he couldn't make the call. What else should he have done? Like you said, should he have held the gun better? There was not an opportunity for him to get out, run, shoot, or do anything. The best thing he could do was stay calm, which he did brilliantly. He didn't freak out and be a bigger burden on me, trying to keep the car on its wheels. So, for a guy that worked the fourth day in the company, and on the fourth day, or the first week in the company, fourth day in the gun battle, he did exceptionally well.
So this is it. This is how he was driving. He was navigating the path, and then he had a turn, and that was a sharp turn. He keeps driving. Oh, see them blocking the way. He just had to, Wow, that's so amazing. That's an amazing drive there. Really?
Yeah, thanks. I thought today'd be
Oh,
a great day
wow.
to come and take a look at this beast and
This
get
is the
from outside. I mean,
bulletproof
most
car.
of the video footage that we've seen has been
I
from the
said it
cams on the
right there.
inside, and it's really fascinating just
Oh.
analysing kind of how the contact went down and how the impacts went. So
He's actually
I was
bulletproof,
hoping you could
yeah.
talk us through it.
Yeah, if it wasn't for this beast, we would have never had this conversation now, would we? No, thanks for giving me the opportunity to be alive still today. No, she performed really awesome that day. Like I said, I was lucky. Other guys, he's not that lucky.
Yeah, look, skill set came into it as well.
What's up,
in a
Righty?
massive way.
Yeah. Look, I think what happened was.
See the cracks, see the cracks. And these are marks of, the shots they got while they're still on their way.
They knocked us exactly the same way as they do cash and transit, the other soft skin escorts.
Let's take a look.
So they will normally come in from the 4 or 5 o'clock area.
Yeah, you can see this impact. I mean, if you look at
Oh.
it, I mean, that's a 7.62 round, and that came in from your 4 o'clock, so you were driving.
Oh, so bad.
There was no coming around and saying, get out.
Oh, so bad, really?
Let's start off by taking you out.
So the first time I knew them, and I thought, I was really awake and really aware. I was looking.
Oh,
The first that I knew they were there was when the cracks came out. But you're so familiar with the cracking sound, I knew immediately it's not a crack going off.
The contact, it's adrenaline going.
let me see how this go right now.
As I looked over my shoulder, I saw them, and I saw the puffs of smoke, and then the shots came in. So I think that one might have hit first.
That was really
Because only after
tactical.
about the third, fourth
That shot was really,
and
oh
impacting the
my
windows.
goodness.
So then I was a bit visually impaired here because now
Yeah, because I mean the mirror's been taken off, but yeah, your visibility into the mirror just absolutely disappears.
So I had to probably move my
at that.
head around. That's why in the video, I was all over the show inside. Just tried to keep a sort of awareness around me. So after they've done this, obviously my plan was to run into the concrete barrier. So I braked hard, swerved heavily,
That was it.
which they managed to avoid because obviously their driver is not a first-time driver and he's well trained. So they managed to avoid contact on the initial one. And then I sort of kept on the right-hand side for a couple of reasons. And he didn't came past me on the left-hand side.
Now, these were the guys in the Audi or in the double cab?
Yes.
The Audi, yeah.
Yeah, but as I kept
Tried
on
to
going,
escape
I saw
this shit.
the Ranger already
Thank
pulled off
goodness.
the courier van, and his crew got out, and I thought
was
maybe I
actually
had a crack at them.
good.
So I shot over the
Drivers
highway.
and people there in there
tried to
drink or
impact them.
drink
And
or
then
no
again,
shot.
I knew my front wheel was out.
So they'd shot the front wheel out.
Yeah, one of those weak make concern shots. Got the wheel. I felt it pulling and there was some smoke coming out. So I went out and I thought I need to ran into the bucky as he was stationary. But then again, I had this small window of space to maneuver myself. And this thing doesn't turn like Batmobile, it's heavy and strong.
Wow,
If
wow.
tire busy deflating, it's going to be difficult.
So I had to manage, try to hit them, hit the bucky sort of thing. Missed all of them. And as I went around them through the gap,
It's giving
I
an
think
explanation
that's
to
where
how
other than,
it actually happened.
Lloyd's window was cracked on the other
Right
side.
there on the way.
And then as I passed him, the courier, the Ford came past me, and I was just a little bit off
can
with
see
my
that,
car.
right?
I knocked him in the front.
Yeah, they were moving at speed. I mean, they came past you
Flying, so I knocked him in the middle of the vehicle, which made him a little bit of a snake tail, but he managed to keep it up. If I could get him onto the rear wheel tire, that was my aim, obviously. I was hoping to make him spin out, but he was gone then. And then I tried to figure out where the Audi was. So I tried
see that.
the mirror that side, my mirror, all over. So the Audi tried to come past on the left. I went from the left and he shot past me. And he's very quick on out of the blocks, those vehicles. So as he came past me, I was a little bit late. I knocked him, I just touched his backside. So he sort of went off the road, but he managed to keep it up. Then I turned around and went highway up back to the courier van. Because now there's 3 armed pedestrians on the
What the?
on the highway with AKs. So I thought, no, maybe I must go back, try and see where where the crew of that vehicle was and the rollers.
That's an
And as I
amazing
went
play
to the-
right there.
To the courier van again, I saw the Audi turned around and he followed me back. And he broadsided
Look at
down
that.
the highway, down 70, 80 meters. And his crew got out as well. And they formed like a straight line on the highway. So I went for them again. And I knew they was going to shoot. I told Lloyd they're going to shoot at us. And the 2 impacts.
So let's see the other side of the car
that was
right now.
from-
You see
from
that
a-
shot
the
right
truck was
here?
elevated on the concrete barrier.
Oh,
He
wow.
climbed on, leaned against the pole, and he was at a
That's quite
slight downward
dangerous.
angle. So the impact is pretty much at a 90-degree impact on the window.
And
So like I said, the impact on Lloyd's window, I'm not even 100%
I
sure.
was really
who was the
targeted at
first,
the driver right
the,
here.
the crew of the Bucky, the Ranger, or if it was the crew of the Audi in that moment that we went for them again that got that shot off. But yeah, then I tried to chase down the Audi, bumping into
Oh, wow.
it, parking area
Yeah,
for
so
the
it's nice
entrance
concrete
of the
bollards.
But yeah, unfortunately, I made a big mistake there. I wanted to push him, keep him in the vehicle so that I could get to him. But I reversed, and as I climbed onto the curb,
That's the dash
with
cam
the
helping
forward
out.
momentum, the Bucky elevated itself, and with the forward motion, it landed belly up on those concrete.
And as tough as a cruiser is, it's,
Now, my thought process was, I'll push it aside, or I would have probably cleared them,
Man, it takes courage, it takes boldness, it takes
But
expertise,
yeah, that's
you know, to
that's
get
how
out
it
of
is.
this
I mean,
kind of
there were
scene,
13
you know.
impacts on this car. So obviously we've taken the bumper off already. A number of impacts through here. One came in through the bonnet, which was the part that connected. There's still the bullet hole, nice hole in the rim over here. So it was a mix of 762 and 556. I mean, this one looks like it was probably a 556 that came in through here. So yeah, that rim held up nicely. Obviously they've got run flats. And yeah, looking at the inside of the vehicle, I mean, yeah, inside and what's
so amazing.
people what you might not know.
See shows from
overlap
all
system, so
around,
sits
man.
in, through the top of the ballistic block. It actually ends up whacking into the overlap. So yeah, that holds out.
That was really
so,
one
13
kind of an
rounds
attack,
in zero
man.
penetration, which is you know, I think the important part.
You see that?
Yeah, so you mentioned earlier that one of the
that's
556 rounds
really
that hits up near
wonderful.
the top over here. So yeah, this is one of the areas I think that the overlap comes into play nicely because it kind of smacked that ballistic block but then deflected in, and yeah, we pretty much stopped it up against that ballistic block.
Yeah, like I said,
Oh, wow.
this round was 556.
That's about 2 or 3 shots
even
from
knowing
this
it.
angle,
When I
man.
got, when I got out of
And
the,
one,
out of the
oh, on
one
the
of
body also.
um,
That was really a lot of shots.
but 2-3 hours later, I went to the toilet, took my weapon out of my holster.
Thank goodness he couldn't penetrate and get into the people right there.
It was a 556, the core of a 556 bullet. So it was stuck between the window and the overlay.
Yes.
Wow.
As you open, it just drops into your holster. rather there than in you. So. Yeah, fantastic.
So it's necessary for you to learn some kind of skills that will save you, you know, from maybe
Yeah, hopefully you never
similar
have to go
kind
through
of,
this
you
again,
know,
but, if it ever goes down again, you're in one of our
incidents.
vehicles, you're good to go.
Thanks a lot.
We decided
If you're learning
let's
to
do a
drive,
commercial
please
rating, do a
be
deep dive into how we armored
be
it and the
attentive
components that we
and
actually use,
pay good attention,
and
you know,
how
do your
turbo ballistics
best,
works
become
when
an expert,
impacting our product.
you know, driving,
If we look at the
gain
driver
skills
components,
while
you
driving
can see the 4 impacts.
could save you
There's a
someday.
major impact here and here.
Please, guys,
And
do well to
impact on the
save,
door,
stay
impact
safe
on the
out
leg. If we
there.
focus on the impacts on the door, the shot came from 4 o'clock. This is a 7.62 hole, substantially bigger than the 556. Now that would have gone in, and if we take a look on the inside,
Oh, you saw that.
the exit hole
It was really a bad one.
would have been about here. We've checked the armor out, and there was absolutely 0 penetration. So yeah, the lightweight
Man,
synthetic in a door like this
wow,
works
wow.
absolutely phenomenally. This particular
The
vehicle differs quite a
bullet
bit from
couldn't
our
penetrate,
bespoke luxury
man.
builds where we'll build Range Rovers and Bentleys and the like. So it's a lot more utilitarian in terms of the overlap. Now let's see what an overlap is, and this is a perfect example. 556
Wow.
round came in and hit right on the edge of the ballistic block. That means
Right
it
there.
lost a bit of energy, but managed to sink through right up on the top. And if we take a look closely,
That shot
you can
was
actually see
tactical, man. What if the glass was a little bit
that
open?
round then came through and impacted our
Man,
overlap
the
system.
bullets would have
And the
just, you
overlap
know,
system is designed to do
penetrated from
just
there.
that. It provides an overlap where the ballistic glass stops, where there would potentially be a gap. We run an overlap system, and this system covers this whole section of the vehicle. So that round impacted and stopped. And
These
as
guys
we
are
mentioned,
very
when
much
we opened the door,
sensible.
the actual 556 bullet dropped out and dropped into his holster. Walking around, we've got the 2 frontal impacts. Great stops, and we're going to go into depth on those in a few minutes.
You see that right there?
If we look at the impacts on the left-hand door, this is where Lloyd was sitting, looks like a 556
Oh,
impact, given the
really give that a crack.
cracks and the like on the glass. It's pretty distinctive sometimes, so I'd say this was a 556. And
It's a crack
if we
it
look
was.
on the inside of the glass, and this is a great example, is you've got the impacts on that side, and on the inside, you can barely feel a bulge. You might have a millimeter of deformation over here,
Wow.
but absolutely nothing. The round has absolutely expended its energy, so it didn't even get close to the overlap. Right, so we're sitting inside the armored Land Cruiser, and what we're going to do now
Oh, you
is
see
we're going to
that.
fire a shot from a 7.6239 AK-47.
That's quite a bullet
The
pool.
round's going to be traveling at around 2,320 feet per second.
and it's going to impact
Let's
the glass.
ensure the safety
Now,
of
what
the
you can't see
driver and
here
the people
is
right there.
this is what the glass is made of. So this is premium Optima ballistic glass. This is some of the best ballistic glass in the world, and it's the only brand that we use. The round impacts what we call the strike face, and as it impacts, it shatters that first layer. By shattering,
Is
it
that how
actually
thick
dissipates
the
energy.
glass
It
is?
then gets to the second layer, dissipates more energy, gets to the third layer, dissipates more, and eventually just runs out of
This
steam.
is
And what's quite
amazing.
interesting
Oh,
is
so tell me how the bullet
you
would
can hear the
penetrate.
difference. Now, what we have on the inside is a layer of polycarbonate. That polycarbonate is there to catch any shards of glass that may have been generated by the impact of the bullet impacting the strike face. So, yeah, that's how it works. Let's see it in real
Man,
life.
that was
Okay, Shooter, you ready? Load and make ready. Shooter, are you ready? Stand by. Send it.
calling for backup while driving. Man, that's quite a hazard.
Right, so the round's just impacted, and what you can see is cracks radiating out at different layers, and that's the energy dissipation.
You see that shot?
Kind of as it got closer to the end, or kind of in the center, you can see there's
That
a
was
lot of
just
cracks,
quite
but
a
radiated
pretty
all out to the windscreen.
bulletproof,
And
man.
that was basically taking those joules of energy.
There's no way that
and
that
losing
could
the
actually,
electricity.
you know,
I'm moving my hand
get
across
right
this.
into
I can
that
feel a
that
tiny little
place, man.
deformation, but really, yeah, if it's a half or more, it's a lot. Okay, now the other guys have had fun shooting at me. It's my
Oh
turn.
wow, and that's quite smooth right there. And you see the shot there. Oh wow, and the bullet loaded and give that fire there. Man. You see that?
Right, weapon is safe. Let's go and take a look. So effectively what we've got here is this windscreen
You
is
see
now
that right
taken
there?
five,
There was no
6 rounds.
penetration,
There's
man.
a 5.56 and 7.6239. You can see the external impact. You can see the way the glass is cracked.
All the
And,
shots
what's also interesting is you can see
just
the difference between the 5.56
give
and the
their cracks
7.6239.
and you know
That energy with a heavier
they are all
bullet
gone.
obviously causes a lot more
Couldn't
destruction of
penetrate the glass.
The 5.56, a little bit lighter, although still substantial. Right, these are the three weapons platforms that we use.
The only
today.
thing you could
This
get
is the
as a
AK-47.
driver is a blurry
Iconic,
vision.
easily recognizable, and unfortunately thousands and thousands and thousands on the streets. This is a
That's it right there.
level. In South Africa, it's known as the
Oh,
R4
these are the
or
arms.
R5. Now, what was quite interesting on the impacts is that the impact from the R4, slightly longer barrel, higher velocity, was greater
Wow.
than the impact from the R5, which impacted next to the lead's head. So this is the 5.56, and then
What I
the
hate
one
that
I'm
was
using is my competition 223 Stag Arms, and this is the classic
just
AR.
gave a little
So
crack
generally,
and
these
there was
three
no
rifles are the
penetration.
rifles that are probably the most well-known and the most used rifles in the
Right.
attacks in South Africa, in the cash and transit type attacks, and also we finding attacks, kidnappings, etc., on normal civilians. And yeah, just very unfortunate that this is what we need to face. The fortunate part is, if you're in an armor max vehicle, you're good to go. We're going to stop these rounds.
Oh wow, wow. Now look, we gotta have to wrap it up right there. So guys, please stay safe out there when you're driving, when you're playing, when you're having a fun, whatever you think you're doing, when you're walking. Please stay safe and develop skills that will actually help you keep safe. Subscribe and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Right. Bye.